It's 10:37. Robert's not here yet. We're going to move on. Let's just do the MJF stuff while we can.
Sorry, Robert.
Yeah, I wanted him here for this conversation, but okay, we'll try to get some quotes from him maybe that we could put on social media or on our YouTube posts. Watch out for that. We've been reviewing shows on YouTube posts, just quick reviews, thumbs up, thumbs down for different angles from WWE and AEW. So if there's anything we didn't talk about on the show, check over there. If you're bored, you can read some of our reviews over there. So let's go to Dynamite and AEW. So during our review of Forbidden Door, I put a note on my post saying Vlad, didn't really watch most of it, and he's been down on AEW. Obviously, that's not new. It's been for a while, but we're all just waiting for the point where, when is this gonna get to the point where we're just gonna give up on this show? You know what I mean? And I put a note there saying we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna have a serious discussion about whether we're gonna talk about AEW in the coming future, because really we spent a lot of time on it. It doesn't get us a lot of views. We could do classic wrestling. We could do classic WCW or WWF and get 20 times more views. Like at least 1,000. We get 1,000, 2,000 videos for like 2,000 views for old school Ric Flair promos, reviewing WCW. And we'll talk about AEW for a good while, and people just aren't interested in it. No one's watching it. It's not getting good ratings, and the show is suffering creatively. So everyone has been saying that MJF is their only hope. He's their only literally legit star, legit worker. He's really good. Yes. But they turned him face last year and they ruined him. They turned him into a good guy.
Yes.
And that whole Adam Cole thing. And everyone's just waiting for him to turn back. And it finally happened this past Monday. So real quick, I'll explain how it happened. I mean, if you guys hadn't seen it yet, you shouldn't be watching our show. You should be going back to try to find some clips from Dynamite, probably on their YouTube page, I'm guessing. But yeah, so Daniel Garcia has been getting a big push lately, and he was finally getting his big international title shot against Will Ospreay. They were making a big deal out of it, and MJF at the beginning of the show offered to be in his corner, a lot like he was in Cody Rhodes' corner back in the beginning of AEW. So Daniel Garcia accepted. He's like, yeah, I could use some help in the corner, some support. MJF tried to help him in the match, passed him the diamond ring, and Daniel Garcia didn't want to use it, or he hesitated, and that led to Ospreay hitting him with his finisher and then losing the match. And then post-match, MJF tried to console Daniel Garcia, right? And instead, he low-blowed him just like he did to Cody Rhodes and beat the living hell out of him. And security tried to come and stop him, and he beat the hell out of them too. And then I think Daddy Magic came out too, and to protect his son Daniel Garcia, he got beat up too. And Christopher Daniels, the de facto general manager, I guess, right now, came out, yelled at MJF for killing Daniel Garcia basically, and he left him bludgeoned and had this crazy psycho look on his face. And the old MJF is back, as we've been crying for since this whole ridiculous good guy MJF thing has happened. But okay, so let's get a review from you for the angle on Dynamite. You want to give it a thumbs up? Do you want to give it 2 thumbs up? What do you think? Or do you not care? Let's see. Let's see what Vlad, the wrestling expert, thinks about
this. This is a tough one, because obviously I'm a huge MJF fan still, despite how he was used the past most of 2023. I'm torn because, and you know why I'm torn? Because they turned him heel in an angle kind of with Oscar, but mostly with Daniel Garcia, who I do not like and do not see anything in at all, or at least not a main event talent whatsoever. Okay, fine. I will be nice and I'll give it 1 thumb up, but I'll give it half. Because of Daniel Garcia's involvement, I'm going to take off at least something. So half a thumbs up, or whatever the hell you want to call it, or
an Orange Cassidy.
An Orange Cassidy thumbs up. There we go. Thank you. Yes. One of these. Okay.
Yeah, so break it down for us, Vlad. I mean, look, the heel turn is what we needed. The heel turn is what we wanted. The heel turn is what everyone's saying could save AEW at least to make them watchable for the coming future and not have them completely lose their entire audience. Is that going to get some audience back? Come on. It's MJF. He's back. He's the guy that this is the first 3 years of AEW. He carried them, and it was actually pretty decent. At least his segments.
Sure. I don't know if he can salvage it himself at this point. They're in such a far worse place than they were when he was first getting like really good. They have that feud that the money feud. The only thing they have left currently is Ospreay and MJF. And I think that will happen at some point. I don't know if that's going to be in Wembley or not. That's what they're saving it for. But I don't know if just having MJF be the heel around all these kind of parts that nobody wants to see for the most part is going to be good enough. Like, I'm going to say even he can't save it at this point. Like, it's just so bad.
So you're not excited by this because you're just looking at the whole state of AEW in general.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Because the shows are so bad. How much as good as MJF is, and I will watch his segment. In fact, I listened to his promo on Collision that he cut, which that he was on.
Yes, I did hear that he opened Collision. I didn't get a chance to watch that yet with all my car troubles and such.
And it was the only thing worth watching on Collision, of course. But the thing is, he's only worth watching on Dynamite either, for the most part. So, either way, I don't see him being able to salvage a company by himself with the way the current state of AEW is. And then my other problem with this whole thing is all this work just to kind of push Daniel Garcia. We discussed this kind of, we texted back and forth. I don't see him as a main event talent. I think he could be used in the right spot as a mid-card guy, opening match guy. And I know you said something that kind of, and there's something true to it. There's some truth to it that, they said the same thing about certain guys in WCW. Specifically, I think Eddie Guerrero. Okay, listen. If Daniel Garcia becomes Eddie Guerrero in WWE at some point, everything I said back, and you don't have to. And I'll take away my wrestling expert nickname, but because I just don't see that happening, dude. I really don't. Okay, if Daniel Garcia becomes the next Eddie Guerrero or becomes as over as Eddie Guerrero, I'll take away wrestling expert nickname because I don't deserve it at that point, because that's something I would never see coming.
WWE can get anybody over if they really wanted to, but is he gonna be like respected as a wrestler like Eddie Guerrero and be that kind of superstar, like really lead a company? I mean, okay, so what is our problem with Daniel Garcia? His personality. He doesn't have a personality. He doesn't have a name. He doesn't have a gimmick. Right,
he's just Daniel Garcia, right?
Which is okay. I mean, John Cena is just John Cena, but he sort of has a gimmick. He's got colorful shirts, and Daniel Garcia is just a dude, which is a lot of what AEW is, right? They're just supposed to be like normal, relatable dudes, I guess. So
yeah.
But okay, so you're saying this is going to be another waste of time, a la Adam Cole. They're going to spend all this time trying to get Daniel Garcia over, and he's really just not going to get over because, unfortunately, he just doesn't have it, according to you.
Look, he can be, like I said, he can be used, and he can be on their TV, and he can put on matches, which I think he is not a bad wrestler. Like some of his work I've seen is okay, but as a main event talent, getting him over, putting him with guys that are kind of over in this company, MJF specifically, Ospreay. I don't know if he's going to work with Swerve. I'm not seeing this at all. I've never seen him that way. I just see him as an indie talent that maybe if he went to NXT and got proper training and stuff like that, maybe something could happen. But in AEW,
and a gimmick. Maybe you could do with a gimmick. What do you think?
And maybe, something. It's just the way he talks a lot with his hand, and he does the thing, and he goes over and all the stuff that he does when he talks. I don't see a main event talent on the mic. And in the ring, he's okay, he's good, but that doesn't mean that you should work a program with MJF. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, okay, so you're not excited for that. I'll give my review on the match. I'll give it a thumbs up, not 2 thumbs up. I liked seeing the demented look on MJF return. I mean, just the way Daniel Garcia looked so beaten and bludgeoned, and how it was just like a spectacle type of scene. I think it's a memorable scene. I think it does give AEW some life, to be honest. I think for a company that was so dead in the water, and for a Forbidden Door that was good, it had some good stuff, but it was hey, they tried. Okay, I'll give it that. They tried. There were some things in there that were entertaining to me, but yeah, it was a little bit of a weak show compared to like past Forbidden Doors that had a little more excitement. This one,
all Forbidden Doors are awful. At least this one, I will say, had the main event that didn't involve some Japanese guy or some guy from CML that we never heard of. It did involve 2 guys that we do know. If you watch
that
AEW.
Swerve Ospreay match saved the show, and the ending I thought was good. Go look out for our review on YouTube posts if you want to go watch that. Check out our community posts, and we do have a full review of that pay-per-view, I guess, on our post. So check that out if you want. But I'm just saying that I think this does breathe some life in them, and it gives them some interest. I think people will be interested to see what happens with MJF as a heel. Daniel Garcia is involved in it, okay, but still, he's going to be involved with Ospreay. All In's coming up. He wants the title. There's going to be some kind of angle for him trying to get the world title back, or he's going to be involved with Ospreay somehow, because Ospreay ran him off to finally stop that Daniel Garcia attack. So it looks like that's going to be there. And I'm just not as down on Daniel Garcia as you are. Just because I don't see him as a main event talent doesn't mean I don't like him. I like the guy, man. Daniel Garcia is a cool dude, so I'm gonna watch now.
He's not a cool dude, or he's not a bad, or some. I'm not saying he should be fed to the wolves or something. He's probably a good guy, and I'm sure he'd be fun to hang out with. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying.
We can all dance together.
Yeah, I just remember him doing that, and I think it was Don Callis saying, that guy's money. Don't touch that guy. That guy's money. And I'm like, this company's hopeless. Anyways, no, but I wanted to say, so you're saying that because MJF turned heel, you see something now that where AEW as a whole can maybe be better because just from his heel turn.
Hell yes, man. Oh man, this is exactly what we needed. This is literally exactly what everyone's been dying for. Look, it's our only thing. The only thing we have is a heel MJF. Give it to us, man. We got nothing else in this company, man. And a babyface MJF, I'm sorry. He can do a babyface thing, but if there was another guy to be the main heel in the company, fine. There isn't. Yeah, there isn't. So it's got to be him. He's got to do this. I'm sorry. He's got to pull it out again.
I agree.
All right.
I mean, I agree that's their only hope, but I don't know how much he can do. I'm curious to see what happens there.